Hi, it's Casey Berard from mindfulhealth.ca, and I've been thinking and speaking a lot with people about transformation and growth recently. I was joking with a friend the other day. I was imagining my own personal growth struggles and challenges and excitement, and picturing myself as a butterfly, uh, pre-butterfly stuck in a cocoon, and just poking my head out and kind of being like, oh, this seemed like a good idea at the time, and having to like tear away at all the layers and get clear that I had to get out of this mess that I'd gotten into myself, and the struggle and the strain and the clearing away negative thoughts or clutter, which was to me the cocoon. And so if someone wants to create a cartoon of that, of the butterfly going, oh, bummer, thought this was a good idea at the time, and then of course we all know how that turns out, that the butterfly does come out of the shell and the cocoon and makes its way into a beautiful metamorphosis. Um, so good story, good way to remind us that when we're going through our own struggles, things most likely will work out. We just don't know what we're going to transform into. The other story I have is of this beautiful plant. Actually, there's one right behind me. Uh, I had one like that I took to an expo in the middle of winter. It was really cold, and I wrapped it in a blanket, like totally cozied up. But you know what? This plant was not happy about going out in the cold. And I got it home, and its leaves started to turn brown. And I was really remorseful. I thought, oh, you poor tropical plant, I should have never taken you out in the heart of Canadian winter. And I just blessed it, and I said, thank you for struggling through this process with me. And I clipped and cut off all the dead parts, and I loved it, and I put it in a special space, and I gave it extra special attention and care. And do you know what? That was in February, and I think it was May or June. I watered it faithfully. I told it it could grow. I loved it unconditionally, leaves or no leaves. And all of a sudden, it sprouted out new leaves out of the top of its shoots. And my heart just melted. And because it seemed to happen overnight. But for months, it was working really, really hard. And all of a sudden, I could see the transformation. I could see the growth. I could see the signs of all the hard work it had been doing. And in my experience as human beings, that is what it is like with personal growth, is that you can be working really hard, trying, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I've grown. Things have changed. I don't feel so bad. So that's actually one of the reasons why I grow plants, is so I can watch growth happening on a regular basis. They all grow differently, just like us human beings. We all grow and change and thrive differently. And yeah, so those are my happy stories, and they're around my house, in my office, to remind me on a daily basis that we are always growing and changing, and we just don't always see that process until it's time. So I hope that helps or inspires or creates something in you where you remember a time in your life where you were just going through the trenches and the mud, and then all of a sudden, boop, you were sparkly clean and on the other side of it. If you have any questions, comments, you want to hear more, let me know. I look forward to speaking with you. Take care.